4th of July 2019, a Caterpillar 797F haul truck was brought into the workshop at the Ravensworth Open Cut Mine to undergo a 40,000-hour programmed component replacement. 4 days later, fitters were working to remove the pins from the lower left-hand suspension link. The fitters managed to successfully remove the rear pin, but the front pin became seized after being partially withdrawn. This created a cavity between the back of the pin and the inner collet, approximately 70 millimeters in length. A boilermaker was asked to conduct thermal lancing of the pin to try to remove it. The boilermaker and spotter erected a scaffold on which to stand while performing the lancing. The boilermaker lanced a hole through the pin and quenched it with water. Quenching the pin causes a reduction in the outside diameter, making it easier to remove. The fitters attempted to insert a pry bar through the hole, however, the hole was not large enough. The boilermaker resumed lancing, enlarging the hole through the pin. He turned off the lance and used a water hose to cool the area behind the pin clevis, helping to cool hoses and transmission components. He then applied water to the front of the pin. Water traveling through the pin contacted hot slag and rapidly converted into steam. When this occurs, water expands 1,700 times its original volume. The sudden expansion of steam forcefully ejected the 47-kilogram pin, hitting the boilermaker on his left side. He suffered a stress fracture and bruising to his left hip, a fracture to his left thumb, and minor facial and eye injuries from the slag spray. The spotter was not injured. While the investigation identified the ejection of the pin was caused by the rapid expansion of steam, contributing factors were found to include a lack of awareness of confinement which led to the creation of the hazard, failure to identify safe standing zones while quenching, and lack of formalized training for thermal lancing. Following the incident, the mine operator consulted with workers to revise their hot work risk assessment, revised their procedure for thermal lancing and quenching of pins, established site processes for the appointment of workers permitted to perform thermal lancing, reviewed the availability and suitability of tools for the removal of pins, and collaborated with the haul truck manufacturer to revise the pin and collet design. It is recommended that mine operators and contractors review their safety management systems, focusing on hot work risk assessments including thermal lancing, the potential for steam expansion or hydrocarbon combustion events, the potential for confinement and piling of molten slag, safe standing zones, hot work permit systems and procedures, the appointment of workers permitted to perform thermal lancing activities, and the availability and suitability of appropriate tools and procedures for the mechanical removal of pins.